Today I'll be giving you a virtual tour of our ImageXpress Micro Confocal high content imaging system. As you can see, this particular system is equipped with our transmitted light tower option. This is our bright field option, and it also offers true phase contrast for label-free cells. Now I'd like to show you the interior of the instrument. The interior of the ImageXpress Micro Confocal system has a linear slider that holds 4 objectives. In this particular system, we have 2 water immersion objectives installed. Facing you is our 20x water immersion objectives, as indicated by the tubing and wiring. Now, in addition to 2 water immersion objectives, the linear slider can also host 2 additional air objectives that can be swapped in and out. To the left of the objective slider, you'll notice the water bath. This is how our system passively generates humidity for your environmental control live cell assays. Here we have our water immersion controller. This includes a source bottle for DI water, as well as a waste bottle. The tubing here connects to the interior of the instrument, where you saw the water immersion objective also connected to additional tubing. This system will dispense water to and from the objective safely and seamlessly. It acts no different than an air objective. Now let's take a look at configuring image acquisition and analysis within ImageXpress software. First, let's begin with acquisition. In ImageXpress, we have 3 key buttons at the top of the screen. To set up a new scan, we'll select the Acquisition Setup button. The entire acquisition protocol will be set up in this single dialog. We'll start from the top tab and work our way down. The first tab addresses objective selections. In the magnification drop-down menu, you can see what we have currently installed in our system, which is a 4x and 10x air objective, as well as a 20x and 40x water immersion objective. We'll select the 20x water immersion objective for this example. In addition to selecting magnification, we're also going to select between wide field and confocal mode. This is a selection that can be made from the drop-down menu within the software, and so you do not need to interact with the hardware at all. In this particular system, we have the option to select between wide field and 2 separate confocal modalities. A 50 micron slit, which is our proprietary configuration for high throughput screening, and our 60 micron pinhole, which provides standard confocal resolution. The next tab allows us to select our plate type. You can select your plate from any of the plates in the drop-down menu. Now that we've selected our plate, we'll go to the second tab and select how many sites or fields of view we'd like to image in each well position. Currently, we've configured a single site, which is in the center of each well. We can also configure the system to run a fixed number of sites to configure full well acquisition. In this particular example, we'll just stick with a single site. Now let's head down to the Wavelengths tab. This is where we can specify how many channels we want to image. In this particular acquisition, we have 2 channels, a DAPI from a nuclear stained host, and a GFP tag beta arrestin for GPCR internalization. So in Wavelength 1, first, we're going to select DAPI from the illumination menu. Now, to find focus, we're going to hop down to this next section and select Calculate Offset. This will allow the software to automatically calculate the best focal plane for our channel. You'll see that the system goes in and out of focus in a small Z-stack, and then it will calculate your best focal plane based on the image that shows the highest contrast. And I'll accept the software selected focal plane. Similar to selecting focal plane, we also have a quick access button for adjusting exposure time. I'll select the auto expose button to automatically adjust exposure in my image. I'll repeat the same process for every channel. For wavelength 2, I'll select the FTSE channel from the drop-down menu, and again click Calculate Offset to determine my focal plane. So here I can see GPCR internalized into vesicles. Again, I'll click Auto Expose to automatically adjust exposure time in this example. Now that I'm done with this experiment, I can go ahead and head to the Run tab. Give the experiment a name and acquire my plate. As we move up this column, you'll notice that we're seeing an internalization of the GPCR signal. Now the acquisition is complete. As you can see from that workflow, using a water immersion objective is really seamless and no different than using an air objective. Now within ImageXpress software, you do have a few cues and health sensors that help you address any issues with water immersion objectives. In your plate acquisition setup dialog, you'll see this icon here to indicate the water immersion objective status. You can click on that icon at any time to see the system health. This dialog indicates to me that everything is ready and good to go for any water immersion run. If at any time one of these components is not ready, the system will automatically make that objective ready for an acquisition. Thank you for joining us for a virtual tour of our ImageXpress Micro Confocal high content imaging system. Please visit our website moleculardevices.com for additional information.